Hello all, welcome to MD's iLaw channel where every case is clear. Today we are going to cover AIBE 17 paper. First question is the Section 12 of Hindu Maintenance and Adoption Act, 1956 deals with. And the correct option is B. Effects of adoption. Section 12 deals with the consequences of adoption for the adopted child and the adoptive and natural families. However, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as 1. The child cannot marry any person whom he or she could not have married if he or she had continued in the family of birth. This rule ensures that the same prohibitions on marriage due to consanguinity, blood relations, apply even after adoption. 2. Any property that vested in the adopted child before the adoption remains with the child, subject to any obligations attached to it, including the obligation to maintain relatives in the family of birth. 3. The adopted child does not divest any person of any estate that vested in him or her before the adoption. Second question is, which of the following categories of cases will not be entertained as public interest litigation, PIL? The correct option is D. Landlord-tenant matter. This is because a PIL is filed to protect the public interest, not the individual interest of the parties involved in a dispute. A landlord-tenant matter is a private dispute between two individuals and does not affect the interest of the public at large. Therefore, it will not be entertained as a PIL. The other options are examples of matters that can be filed as PILs. 1. Family pension is a matter of public interest as it affects the welfare of the families of government employees who have died in service. 2. Petitions from riot victims are also PILs as they seek justice and compensation for the victims of communal violence and human rights violations. 3. Neglected children are another category of PILs as they aim to protect the rights and interests of children who are vulnerable to abuse, exploitation and neglect. Third question. Who is known as father of public interest litigation in India? The correct option is D. Justice P.N. Bhagwati. Justice P.N. Bhagwati is often referred to as the father of public interest litigation, PIL, in India. He, along with Justice V.R. Krishnaiyer, played a pivotal role in introducing and developing the concept of PIL in the Indian judicial system. He expanded the traditional rule of locus standi, which means previously allowed only those directly affected by an issue to approach the courts. This innovation has allowed the judiciary to address a wide range of social issues, from environmental protection to human rights violations. 4. Which of the following is not a real purpose of public interest litigation? The correct option is D. Getting famous and making wealth. This is not a real purpose of public interest litigation. It is a legal tool to protect the public interest and promote social justice. It is not meant for personal gain or fame. Some of the real purposes of public interest litigation are 1. Vindication of the rule of law. Public interest litigation helps to uphold the supremacy of the law and the Constitution. 2. Facilitate effective access to justice. Public interest litigation enables the common people, especially the poor and the marginalized, to seek legal remedy for their grievances. 3. Meaningful realization of fundamental rights. Public interest litigation helps to enforce the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution to all the citizens. Fifth question. In Husainada Khatun vs. State of Bihar, dash emerged as a basic fundamental right. The correct option is A. Right to speedy justice. In Husainada Khatun vs. State of Bihar, the Supreme Court held that the right to speedy trial is a fundamental right of every citizen under Article 21 of the Constitution, which guarantees the right to life and personal liberty. This case is indeed a public interest litigation. The court ordered the release of several industrial prisoners who had been languishing in jails for years without any trial or bail. The court also directed the state governments to take steps to ensure that the right to speedy trial is not violated and that the industrial prisoners are given adequate facilities and treatment. Sixth question deals with writs. Which of the following writ can be issued against usurpation of public office? The correct option is C. Writ of quo warranto. This writ is used to challenge a person's right to hold a public or corporate office when he or she does not have the authority to do so. Here is one line explainer for all the writs. Mandamus orders a lower court or authority to perform a duty. Certiorari reviews the legality of a lower court's decision. Prohibition prevents a lower court or authority from exceeding its jurisdiction. Quo warranto challenges a person's right to hold a public office. Habeas corpus ensures a person's release from unlawful detention. Seventh question is a case law. Ridge vs. Baldwin's case deals with. The correct option is B. Natural justice. Ridge vs. Baldwin, 1964, is a landmark UK case that emphasized the importance of natural justice, particularly the principle of audi alterum partem, hear the other side. Chief Constable Charles Ridge was dismissed from his position without being given a chance to defend himself. The House of Lords ruled that his dismissal was invalid because he was not afforded a fair hearing. This case highlighted the necessity of procedural fairness in administrative decisions and established that even public authorities must adhere to principles of natural justice when making decisions affecting individuals' rights. Eighth question is also deals with principles of natural justice. Meaning of audi alterum partem. The correct option is A. A person cannot be condemned without being heard. This is the meaning of audi alterum partem, a Latin phrase that means, listen to the other side, or, let the other side be heard as well. It is a principle of natural justice that requires fair hearing and justice for both parties in any judicial or quasi-judicial action. Here is one-line explanation for these principles of natural justice. Audi alterum partem, no one should be condemned unheard, everyone has the right to a fair hearing. Nemo judex in causa sua, no one should be a judge in their own case, there must be impartiality. Reasoned decision, decisions should be based on reason and evidence, and the rationale should be clearly stated. Ninth question is very simple and it just deals with the name of Advocates Act. Rules made by Bar Council of India in exercising its rule-making power under. The correct option is C. The Advocates Act, 1961. This is the act that confers the rule-making power on the Bar Council of India under Section 49. The act also mentions the powers and functions of the Bar Council of India, such as regulating legal practice and education, administering the All India Bar Examination, establishing standards of professional conduct and etiquette, and punishing advocates for misconduct. The Advocates Act, 1961 replaced the earlier Indian Bar Councils Act, 1926 and the Legal Practitioners Act, 1879. 10th question covers the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Which one of the following is not a ground of divorce in the Hindu Marriage Act? The correct option is D. Living separately for less than 3 months. This is not a ground of divorce in the Hindu Marriage Act, 1955. According to Section 13B of the Act, a divorce by mutual consent can be granted only if the husband and wife have been living separately for a period of 1 year or more. Living separately for less than 3 months does not satisfy this condition. The options A, B and C are all valid grounds of divorce under Section 13 of the Act. Mental disorder, venereal disease in communicable form and incurable unsound mind are some of the situations that make it impossible for the spouses to live together harmoniously and therefore justify the dissolution of marriage. We have covered 10 questions in this video. The AIBE previous paper series we will cover the remaining questions and old papers as well. If you like this explanation, please like the video and share this video to AIBE aspirants. Do not forget to comment below about the video and please subscribe to MD's iLaw channel, the legal classroom where every case is clear. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. See you soon. Bye bye.